Namaste to all. A very beautiful article written by my Acharya. I'm going to read it for you. Basically, this is on the topic of physical charm vanishes away, and very important advice to the youngsters, younger generations, and students who are studying in school, colleges, and universities basically. Also, in this article, my Acharya has explained a very beautiful story from Upanishad. Request you to listen. Now, my Acharya writes like this: fundamentally, God has asked the soul to use the senses and the whole body to discharge the duties mentioned in the Vedas. If the soul follows the Vedic preach of Almighty God, then there arises no problem of addiction, bad character, and other worldly disputes. But when, due to ignorance, mind and intellect starts commanding the soul, then unlimited sins are generated. Therefore, addiction is only due to the lack of knowledge of Vedas. Where illusion involves and duly suppressed by mind and intellect, soul orders to commit sins like sensuality, addiction, etc. If in school, colleges, universities, Vedic moral education is provided to the students, then surely the sins will be minimized and will be fully destroyed one day. So the people who discriminate on the basis of color, caste or creed, they being against the Vedas, are punishable by Almighty God. In this regard, I paste a true story. My Guruji is explaining a true story. There was a king named Janak. Once he saw a dream that he is very hungry and he is wandering in search of food. He reached a place where a piece of bread was lying on earth. In the dream, the king immediately took the piece of bread and was about to eat it. That a kite immediately snatched the bread from him and flew away. The king was so angry that he became unconscious and fell down on the earth. Suddenly he woke up and was surprised to remember that it is a dream. He began to think that he being the king, then how he could be a hungry beggar. So he thought that if he was really a king, then how he could be hungry, or if he was a hungry, then how he could be a king. So he made a royal announcement that anybody who would answer his question, that person would sufficiently get rewarded or honored. On a fixed day, several learned persons gathered in a hall. The king was seated on a throne and a special chair was placed near by him to be occupied by the learned dignitary who had to give answers. A crowd of learned of Vedas, Shastras was gathered. From the crowd of learned, one by one, learned started sitting on the chair and started giving answer to King Janak, but he was not satisfied with their answers. The crowd of learned along with other officials became silent. After some time, a person who was disabled by 8 parts of the body and having totally black skin was seen limping. The person slowly reached the special chair, and as soon as he was seated, the crowd of so-called learned of Vedas and Shastras started laughing. The crowd actually laughed at his distorted appearance, black skin and ugliness. They thought how this disabled person would be able to answer the king. The above quoted ugly person was adorable Ashtavakra Muni. He was not only learned of Vedas, but he did tapasya and realized the Almighty God and truth. His eyes had a divine glow. After sitting on the special chair, Ashtavakra Muni in a very pleasant and calm voice asked the king that who were those persons sitting before him in a crowd. The king answered, "O Muni, these are the learned of Vedas and they know the reality of the soul." In return, Ashtavakra Muni replied that, "O king, actually those persons did not know about the soul. They are all cobblers because they very well knew about my skin but not my soul, which resides within my body." Muni further added that since they were cobblers and specialists of skin, that is why when he entered the hall with his disabled body, black skin and ugly face, they immediately judged the same and started laughing. Had they been learned of soul, then they would have neglected his disabled body and black skin and would have respected him, knowing that he was not body but soul, and the knower of soul and Almighty God. On the said reply of Ashtavakra Muni, all the persons sitting there were embarrassed and repentant. Thereafter, Muni replied King Janak's question and said, "O Janak, neither you are a king nor a hungry beggar. Your body seems to be a king by wearing the dress of the king. Actually, you are alive and purest soul which resides within the body." The king was satisfied, and under the guidance of Ashtavakra Muni, he got eternal Vedic knowledge about soul and Almighty God. This real story teaches us not to judge the skin, but to judge the soul and Vedic knowledge, which is an eternal and everlasting truth. Physical charm vanishes away. Eternal Vedic knowledge preaches us to be learned about Traitvad, that is, alive matter, souls, God, and non alive matter, Prakriti. Again, if we pay our attention towards Vedas, we find that there are mainly two matters, that is, alive and non alive. Alive matter are only two, that is, God and souls, who are always unchangeable, whereas non alive matters, that is, Prakriti made worldly articles like gold, silver, wealth, and especially physical body of human beings are changeable and destructive, etc. Naturally, if we would love non-alive matters, then what happens? That time is laboring on, and accordingly the physic or physical charms of non-alive matters would diminish day by day. On the contrary, if a soul loves soul, then due to the divine quality of soul being immortal, the love of soul to soul would be everlasting. Actually, at this juncture, the Vedic preach of learned Acharya is the earnest requirement of children, especially younger generation, as was in the previous yugas, to be away from falsehood, false love, and false thinking, completely full of selfishness, which has been destroying not only the character and innocence of youngsters, but has been a major cause of destroying the nation. Because it shall not be out of place to mention here that most of our youngsters studying in schools, colleges, universities are indulged in illusion in the absence of preach of learned Vedic Acharya, and therefore use addiction, fake love between opposite sexes, and generate terrorism too, as is known through TV and newspapers daily. Nowadays, students are not provided with eternal Vedic knowledge which can enable them to have control over senses, perceptions, mind, and intellect. Therefore, such students, being ignorant, do not know that addiction feeds only the physical charm, which is destroyed one day, and generates several diseases, reducing their age, and unfortunately, the person has to die in an early age. It is really a grave sin that the student fails to discharge his moral duties towards parents, family, society, and nation, for which he was provided with invaluable human body. Even most of the people of the whole world cannot be kept aside from being involved in the above quoted illusion. That is why a foreign poet named Thomas Carriot could not resist from describing the difference between love based on physical charm and soul to soul. I happily therefore describe his poem. It's like this: he that loves a rosy cheek or a coral lip admires, or from star like ice doth seek fuel to maintain his fires. As old time makes these decay, so his flames must waste away. But a smooth and steadfast mind, gentle thoughts and calm desires, hearts with equal love combined, kindle never dying fires. Where these are not, I despise lovely cheeks or lips or eyes. So such people do not know that we are not bodies but souls who reside within it. Destructible body and immortal soul are completely separate from each other. Soul is lord of human body, which comprises of 5 senses as quoted above. I hope you would have understood this article. It contains very deep knowledge. It actually contains the Brahma Gyan, that is so about soul and human body. Human body is destructible, so we should always have love between soul to soul. For us to understand this in depth, we have to go to a learned Acharya of Vedas and start learning Vedas and Ashtanga Yoga practice under his divine guidance. So this article is basically written to inspire people to revert back to Vedas. I request you to listen it again and also spread to the younger generation. This kind of knowledge has to be taught to all the people. Thank you so much. Namaste. Om.